With a population of around 1 million inhabitants, Marseille is the second city in France. Located in the southeast, Marseille is a touristic harbour city full of life. Thanks to its status of European Capital of Culture in 2013, the city has become a must-see place with the Mucem, the Vieux-Port, Notre-Dame de la Garde, its squares and its beaches. Despite all this, a serious problem remains: waste. Bins are overflown with garbage and waste litters the streets. Measures have been set up in the entire city, but it's not enough. When we look closer at the garbage, we can see another type of waste: cigarette butts. They account for 35.2% of the total litter. They are everywhere and no one cares. So we have tried to know what Marseille's inhabitants think about cigarette butts.
C'est sale, en toute honnêteté, je trouve qu'il y en a moins qu'avant.
Ça me dérange personnellement, en plus je ne fume pas.
Ouais, c'est pourri, mais bon, de toute façon, hein. Marseille c'est déjà une ville pourrie, donc...
Il faudrait mettre en place des cendriers ou des poubelles plus nombreuses dans les rues.
Après, c'est vrai qu'il n'y a pas de cendrier forcément mis à disposition.
Voilà. Non, mais c'est vrai qu'il n'y a pas assez de dispositifs.
Il n'y a pas assez de dispositifs, mais ça commence. C'est un manque de civisme, tout simplement.
Ils ne se sentent pas impliqués dans la préservation de l'environnement. Du coup, ils sont pas... C'est comme un geste normal pour eux de jouer. Ils vont jeter, ils ne vont pas penser.
Je pense qu'ils n'ont pas conscience, qu'ils n'ont pas conscience que ça pollue. On sait, mais on ne sait pas comment.
As we can see, Marseille's inhabitants feel concerned by this problem. Although the situation has improved for a few years, they think it's not enough. That's why we have met Vincent Auchier, in charge of waste management in Marseille Provence Métropole, to ask him how they manage cigarette butts. To clean up Marseille, MPM has increased the number of bins downtown, especially near bus stops, subway entrances, places where people wait. They smoke and throw out their cigarette butts.
It's difficult, but we need to change people's behaviors. Collecting cigarette butts is very complicated.
We asked him what he thought about TerraCycle Cigarette Waste Brigade. It is an organization funded by Santa Fe Natural Tobacco Company, which offers international programs to collect cigarette waste and recycle it into a variety of industrial projects, such as plastic projects. The remaining tobacco is recycled as compost.
The TerraCycle model is interesting, but in France, it's not economically reliable yet. To start a recycling scheme, we need something which will work over a long time, because equipment, collection and awareness campaigns are expensive. If we fail, we waste time and money.
MPM has a slogan: cleanliness is our duty and respect is yours. People have to work together in order to reduce waste.
Each year, our volunteers give pocket ashtrays where people can put the cigarette butts instead of putting them in the beach sand. With a few actions, we offer solutions to everyone.
According to MPM, people should focus on waste recycling in general before dealing with the problem of cigarette butts.
While filming, we saw many smokers on coffee terraces and a lot of cigarette butts on the floor. So we asked a bartender how we could solve this problem. Some English pubs and restaurants use ballot boxes as ashtray. We showed the picture to the barmaid and asked her if she knew this kind of ashtray and if it could be interesting for the Shamrock pub.
C'est une bonne idée.
It's a good idea. People like that so they could vote with their cigarette butts. Because we broadcast rugby and football matches.
People are used to throwing away their cigarette butts. They don't care about the consequences because they aren't well informed about the impact of cigarette butts. Actually, we noticed that there are no ashtray on indoor and outdoor table.
Since January, a law has prohibited to put ashtrays on the terraces because food and ashes can be mixed.
Strangely enough, Mr. Oshie isn't aware of this law.
I'm interested in this law because I don't know it.
Indeed, the law only concerns closed spaces because of the smoking ban, but it's misunderstood. In Marseille, there is a lack of communication and information about this restriction. Consequently, restaurants think ashtrays are not allowed outside. MPM isn't the only one in charge of waste reduction. Everyone can be involved.
Many associations in the city like Surfrider try to make people aware. Surfriders works on coastal environment protection and upcycling. During an awareness campaign, they lead specific actions against cigarette butts on beaches, water sports bases and harbors. The main goal is to quantify and inform people about their environmental impact.
We sometimes picked over 30,000 cigarette butts in only one afternoon. We had the opportunity to create awareness tools, like this food tray in which we put cigarette butts. Indeed, the chemical contained in cigarette butts.
According to Surfrider, people throw away their cigarette butts because they are ignorant. We just need to remind them and show them how easy it's to stop doing that. For that reason, the organization sells ashtrays during their events. People don't know that tobacco is the most polluting compound, so they explain to them that they must let the cigarette butt burn out in an ashtray rather than crush it before.
As we wanted to know more, we contacted Recyclop, an association specialized in cigarette butt recycling and awareness raising.
Alors l'association Recyclop elle a été créée cette année.
The association was created this year, but they have worked since 2013 to make people aware that throwing away cigarette butts is bad. So we go in the streets and on beaches to talk with them and convince them to stop throwing the cigarette butts.
During the summer 2013, they collected around 23,000 cigarette butts at occasional events.
On propose aussi un cendrier.
We also offer ashtrays. There are camera roll boxes whose bottom is a beer cap, so the ashtray doesn't smell.
On se retrouve avec un cendrier.
In addition, the cigarette is burned out and goes off in 15 seconds.
In only 30 minutes, they collected between 350 and 400 cigarette butts.
D'informer le maximum de gens.
These events aim at raising awareness in as many people as possible, at talking with smokers, at showing them some statistics about cigarette butt pollution, but also at making some contacts because the associations need help and needs volunteers.
We had the opportunity to help this association during their awareness campaign. They were wearing a white jumpsuit, gloves and a mask in order to collect cigarette butts in the street. The crowd asked questions and didn't understand. If some people were interested and took some information, others called out the volunteers and said collecting is useless. A bar owner even called the police.
Recyclop also worked with France Nature Environnement, a group of associations which supports environmental projects.
The SNCF censored it because it gave a bad image of the train station, which demonstrates that cigarette butts are still a real issue. As we have seen, when people hear about the bad effects of cigarette butts, they realize the visual nuisance, but they are less aware of the pollution generated by throwing away cigarette butts. However, they are not ready to make any efforts. On the one hand, even if associations work busily, awareness is difficult to raise. On the other hand, collecting is hard because of the lack of recycling means, and cigarette butt management is still a taboo. So, if we care about our attractive city, it is time to change our habits.